Welcome to Phono Stage, everyone, where we connect you with the music that we love. I am the mischievous one. You can call me Mischief.
And I am the Brown Bandit. You can call me Bandit. This is our third installment of On Repeat. If you've been with us and tuning into us, this is where we talk about the songs that are on repeat for us and should be on repeat for y'all out there seeing. Mischief, do you want to start today?
So, my first on repeat, it's been on repeat, as far as I can tell, it's been on repeat for me since it's been released. And the song I'm going to be starting off with is by WurlD. The song is called Ghost Town. WurlD, real name Sadiq Onifade, is an electro-fusion Nigerian singer-songwriter who actually moved to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue music and a secondary education, where he actually graduated from Georgia State University for computer science, but decided to just keep going with the music, which was obviously very profitable for him. He's collaborated with a lot of different artists, such as R&B singer Mario, BK Brasco, Walshy Fire from Major Lazer, Afrobeat producer Shizzy, as well as DeVito, and Chris Brown. Even though he is this technically categorized in some sense as an Afrobeat artist, this song does have a rich fusion of soul and African pop, but the song to me is more R&B soul than anything else. It just doesn't have as much of the Afrobeat feel, in my opinion, because it's led with really strong vocals and crisp, heartfelt lyrics. And again, it just doesn't have a very Afrobeat kind of feel. Even the music doesn't have a very electro kind of feel. There is a production side, an electro production side to it, obviously. But just the way he sings, what he sings about, it just feels more R&B soul than Afro. Agreed.
Well, this song specifically, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, this song specifically, not all of WurlD's music, just this song. It even has, and again, this is more so why I feel that this way about this song, is it even has little jazz hints to it. Just the way he sings, again, the way the lyrics are going, it just feels more R&B soul. This song was released as a single in May last year. So pretty much when we started the show is when the song was released. And it was also added to his EP called Afro Soul, which was released later last year.
I want to say you played me, I don't know about the song, but him as an artist, I want to say you played me some of his tracks at the Cottage last year.
It was probably this song, because I really fell into this song.
Well, the name sounded familiar, and it sort of sounded familiar, but at that point you were playing, that's when you got me into the Afrobeat kind of genre, or started me on that. So yeah, it just sounded familiar. Sorry to interrupt. And he's kind of, the name stuck with me throughout for the last year, like you were saying.
This song literally came out pretty much right when we started the show, so I've been listening to it on repeat since then. It's a lot of fun. I love the music, the musical side to it. I love the way he performs the song. It's a sing-along song for me. The song is about, he sings about the feelings of loneliness that often come with chasing a dream, touching on everything from haters disguised as friends to idols becoming rivals. What exactly the burnout one would feel when the journey seems prolonged and the fear of losing it all when you get to the top. So basically the underlying meaning is that when you're chasing a dream, the path is long and may get lonely, but be careful not to lose your soul in the process. Using lines like, I pray I make it home alive, to emphasize that fact that you don't lose yourself. And with the added emphasis on hitting the bullseye, making and accomplishing that dream, is that desperate need to get it right. And yeah, with all that fame and all that work chasing your dream, or everybody could love you, but one miss might end up bringing you down, whatever that thing might be, whether it be, you know, something you say in one of your songs, to something you say in an interview, to, it could literally be anything that could just ruin an artist or anyone in the public eye. It could ruin everything you do, right? Or everything you've tried to build for yourself. And it's just, that's where the song name comes in. It's like, what if that fear of that happening ends up putting you into a ghost town? You end up being alone, completely abandoned by everyone that was with you climbing to the top because something happened, whatever that something is. And now you're back to where you started, and you have to do not only the work to get back up there, but do the work you need to fix whatever went wrong to get yourself back up there, and in a positive way in everyone's eye. That's basically what the song is about. It's pretty in depth. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to sing along with.
I'll add, I liked what you touched on with coming up and, you know, your idols becoming your peers or your contemporaries. What a nerve-wracking thing going or achieving to that or that level, and then maintaining it could be, I could see it being construed as stressful. And again, with going back to what you said, anything can happen these days to bring you down all of a sudden, with cameras everywhere, with, you know, people recording everywhere, however that goes down, reporters, whatever. Anything and everything could bring you down. On the flip side of that, though, you know, even bad press could be good press. That's not what the song's implying. I'm just saying that kind of thing. But yeah, that's I really loved what you said about that. That could be, we see it time and time again, and that could be so stressful or thrilling or both. You know, seeing your idol up there in the distance, and then all of a sudden, okay, wait a minute. I'm this motherfucker's equal. And now it's time to show and prove and stay at that level.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? So anyway, I really love how you mentioned that. And again, kind of a serious note. This is kind of a trend with us and a theme with us as far as oxymoronish kind of stuff goes. It's this beautiful laid back song, but it's a really serious thing that he's talking about and conveying and trying to get off to us, right? As well, I like that it was a different thing that he did rather than his genre of Afrobeat. I like that he stepped into that other realm a little bit and just, it's spreading your wings a little bit, right? Just trying out a different genre or adding to your own genre in a different fusion kind of way. I think that's great. So yeah, really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that pick, man. And I can see why it's been on repeat for you for the last year.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. WurlD, Ghost Town. What is your first pick, sir?
For my first pick, I'm going to talk about a gentleman named Tom Misch. He is going to be 25 or 26 rather. English musician and producer. Released his first studio album in 2018. I believe on April 6th, which is a fantastic day to release anything on. We'll get back to that in our next episode, perhaps. And then, of course, he released his second studio album. It's called What Kind of Music, in collaboration with an English jazz musician and drummer named Yusuf Days. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because it was distributed through Blue Note Records, and you know that they're one of my favorite labels of all time, and should be yours! But I'm going to talk about a song off of Geography called Lost in Paris. when you're listening to it, again, was released on April 6th, 2018, coming up to 3 years ago, on his own label. What is that called again? Beyond the Groove. So, you know, self-release, independent artist at that point. To me, it really reminded me of lounge, this housey kind of lounge electronica that I was really into and listening to and going to jams that was playing that kind of genre in the early 2000s. It was such a nostalgic feeling for me, this song. I kept on thinking of a song called Summer in Paris. It had that same kind of just easy, like you could be sitting on a deck chair on the beach in the Mediterranean, south of France somewhere, whatever, sun's going down, there's some nice beats, you got some nice food, maybe a little champagne, some strawberry, just easy, just puts me at ease kind of thing. But then you're kind of listening to it, and you know, the song, at first I actually thought it was about like lost love. Anyway, it's very soulful, and again, it's just a breezy, like I keep on doing this motion, it's a breezy track, that's how it makes me feel. And then the beat pumps, kind of thing, right? This is what it's about. It's the most simplest of things. There's no oxymoron-ishness. That came out funny. This is not an oxymoron. This is what the song's about. He lost a hard drive in Paris. That he had all these tracks on, and he's lamenting the fact in this song, but it's funny, so he's making it light and easy breezy to listen to, because really it's a fucking hard drive. Yes, it might have your life's work on there, but you can recreate that to some degree, kind of thing. So in that sense, it's a very easy, laid-back song.
Yeah, no, the guitar that first comes in is, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about the whole loungy sunset, like the whole setting kind of thing. Like I totally get it. That guitar is a really pretty guitar. And on top of that, another thing I really liked was the continuous snare roll throughout the entire song. Right? It was just like it was a little sporadic now and again, but every so often would have like a repeated rhythm to it depending on the part of the song, but it would still randomly do its own thing. It's almost sounded a little live now and again. But those two things, just those two things, definitely hold true to that whole loungy kind of feeling. And then the beat comes in, the words come in, and I had no idea that the song was about a
I didn't either
drive.
until I started looking into it. I actually, again, I thought it was, you know, where's that? He's singing, I hope you're warm and safe, the memory I can't replace. So you're thinking it's about lost love, like he's lamenting about this lost... No, he's talking about a hard drive. Back to what you said about the guitar, and this just kind of went in conjunction. It kind of has an Afrobeat syncopation to it. Something about it, now that you mentioned the last artist that we talked about, something I've heard different Afrobeat songs with that kind of syncopation with the guitar. And the tone of the guitar even.
It's just like the staccato, like the picking staccato.
That's it,
kind of thing.
the staccato bit of it. Yeah, absolutely. Well put, Mischief. So the lyrics are supposedly dedicated to all the new music, which was saved on his lost hard drive. And though it's open to interpretation, losing or missing or misplacing someone or thing is always painful. So he's lamenting this. As well, he's got a gentleman named Goldlink rapping on it, and I've heard the name. I looked a little bit more into him, but yeah, he's quite well known too as a rapper kind of thing. And I like his voice, and it's just a short little verse that he has in there, and it's easy breezy, goes really well with the song and how it plays out. And that's it. Again, simple song, but it caught me, and I can't get enough of it. If I'm sitting, I'm moving. If I'm standing, I'm moving. If I'm moving, obviously I'm moving. But again, it really, back to to finish off, it really reminded me of stuff that I was listening to in the early 2000s. So a very, very nostalgic listen for me. Every time I put it on, just about any time I put it on, I'll get up and start shuffling around, shake my ass a little bit. I hope that you all out there, it does the same thing for y'all out there. Yeah, that was it was a pretty straightforward song. And again, I find, you know, now that we've been doing this for a bit, I remember my friend Steve Ventura years ago talking about, just a little side note, a Boogie Down Production song and how simple it was. And he says, those are the ones that last. Those are the ones that last. Simple, straightforward. Obviously, you know, you're the musician here, but the progression of certain chords gives you that nostalgic feel, and this has that for me. What's your second pick, homie?
For my second pick, going a little bit aggressive or darker for this one, my second pick is Yelawolf's Till It's Gone, which is such a dope song.
And not what I was expecting.
What do you mean?
I've been listening to Yelawolf for years, but, you know, you fall in and you fall out of different artists, right? And I hadn't really checked anything newer by him for quite a while. You sent me this. What the? This is fucking dope. And something unexpected. As far as his normal style that I'm used to hearing goes.
So this is actually the first song that I ended up finding or listening to from him. And then I ended up just checking out a couple other things. So I was just whatever you ended up actually suggesting to me and stuff like that. So Yelawolf, Michael Wayne Atta, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, as well as fashion designer and entrepreneur. Until It's Gone was actually featured on his 2015 album Love Story, but was released earlier in 2014 on Eminem's Shady 15 compilation album. So actually, Yelawolf is actually part of Shady's label as well. Amongst other labels he was a part of as well, but Shady's was one of them. And this song, like I said, is actually described as being very aggressive or very dark. And it's more so the melody and the hook that gives it that power. So musically and lyrically, I believe this song is like a masterpiece. Musically, the song, the beat mixed with the use of the loop, that guitar, and the live recording of the guitar and the bass. This track, in my opinion, has this like crocodile-infested swamp kind of grit to it. That makes sense with like some of the lyrics in his other tracks. Yeah. He's an Alabamian, you know. He's from the swamp. And lyrically, it's a nice, strong reminder to not be naive and let people take advantage of you. Basically, not to be too nice all the time, which is kind of a problem for me. But because I'm nice to just everyone all the time. But I am not. This song is yeah, like I said, a strong reminder to just don't let people take advantage of you. Don't fuck around in that sort of a sense, or let people fuck around with you in that sort of a sense. And the lyrics to go with that aggressive, dark, crocodile-infested swamp kind of deal. The lyrics, are very to the point. Like, I'm not a fucking needle in a haystack that you finally found. I ain't the dish rag to clean up all the shit that you dish out, and not the wheel on the wagon you want to break down because I hold up all the weight for the team. Like, he's just like, I'm not, and those lyrics are not in any kind of particular order. Those are just random lyrics or lines that I just pulled out. But the whole song pretty much follows under the same feel of just, I'm not, in any sort of sense, I'm not someone you can take advantage of to get ahead in life. I'm not someone you can take advantage of to be comfortable in life, whether it be a friend, coworker, or a partner in whatever it is he's doing. to, in my opinion, it could be a relationship sort of sense. Like, you got to pick up some weight on your own or figure out your own shit for your own life, because I can't save you from everything that's going on in it.
The only thing I'm going to add to that, again, I didn't realize that song's that old. I'd never heard it. I always listened to his real gangster kind of shit, like, you know, Pop the Trunk's one of my favorites by him. Again, I guess that's a common theme for him. It's like, yo, you're going to fuck around, this is what you're going to get. Don't make me fucking pop the trunk. I'll pull out something. You know what I mean? His delivery in this was something that I hadn't heard. His delivery is different. The way he raps is almost singy at times.
Yeah.
Right? It was that kind of chanting, chant down Babylon, I don't know, kind of chanting kind of stuff as far as delivery goes, and I really enjoyed that. And then again, the using this word a lot today, but the syncopation of the beat, fucking awesome. So thank you for putting me on to that, Mischief. I love when that kind of older stuff comes back to haunt me. That one's gonna be with me for years to come, kind of thing, you know.
And yeah, the song's fucking heavy and dope to sing along with. Like, yeah, pretty much it for me.
I'm gonna jump to my second pick. That's a good segue because it's called Jump Up. It's called Jump Up Quickly, actually, by Mungo's High Five, featuring Soom T. Now, I'll start off by saying and mentioning something before I jump into this. For you all out there that may watch us regularly, I also do a top 5 once a week for my friend Poncho and Vic, their show, which is called Keeping Busy, is on Sundays at 8 o'clock on Mixcloud. It's a live show, and so again, I get to do the top 5 for it, and it's an all request show kind of thing. I do a top 5. Poncho plays what he wants to play, you know, Vic plays what he wants to play, and then people kind of request stuff. And he'll play segments or the whole song or whatever the case is. And he has a friend named Arm. And Arm's into drum and bass and jungle, amongst all the other goodness that Arm likes. But he had requested this one day. This sounds funny. I just think the name sounds funny. Mungos. Hey, Mungo, Mungo. I don't know. It just sounded funny to me, right? It's like Mungo, Mango. I don't know. Bungo, Bunghole. I don't know. But Mungo's High Five. These guys are from Scotland, from Glasgow. You know, the genre that they cover, generally speaking, is reggae and dub. The instruments, I love here that this says this. They're a sound system, and they've been around since 2000 on a label called Scottish Bonnet Records. For those of you who don't know what a sound system is, it's a throwback and a head nod to Jamaican sound systems. And a Jamaican sound system, what that meant, it's a popular culture in Jamaica. It's a group of disc jockeys. That's all it means. It's just a group of disc jockeys, engineers and MCs playing ska, reggae, blue beat, you know, dance hall, whatever. But that's the sound system. So basically it's your crew, and we're gonna fucking bump for you right now, kind of thing. And I just found that endearing. I found it nostalgic. I found it throwback, and that made me happy because you know, I'm a graybeard and I like nostalgia. Again, that's their genre, and that's what they're about. I like the fact that in their name it says hi-fi. Me and my hi-fi. Let's put the camera back here. Let's put the camera back here. Yeah, you and your hi-fi too, homie. It makes us and brings us so much joy. So that, again, made me kind of perk my ears up and my eyes open. Oh, wait a minute. Let's check these guys out. And the song that he had requested is called Jump Up Quickly. That piqued my interest. Because again, it sounds really throwback, like, yo, it's a jump up. Get your ass up on the dance floor to jump up, you know? For you, I know you're gonna love that because that's,
this song became on repeat the moment I heard it. The moment I heard it. I'm sure you're going to talk about a lot of things. I don't want to say anything just yet. I want you to continue because there are things I really want to bring up, but I'm sure you will. But man, the moment it came on, I recognized it because it's, I'm sure the beginning, I think it's from an older song. I'm going to let you do all that. Right?
Yeah.
It's an old.
You know I'm going there.
It peaked right away, and I started giggling.
And you heard it right away, no?
What?
The sample? You heard the sample right away.
Right away. So it made me giggle, and then.
And anytime I think we hear of that, anytime we hear of that artist, that makes us giggle because he's got some fucking hilarious songs. Go ahead, sorry.
But when the song started, when their song started, I was just like, whoa. This song immediately became on repeat. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
So big ups to Arm if you're watching out there, Arm. You're the one that got me on this. So Jump Up Quickly by Mungo's Hi-Fi, featuring Soom T, has a sample that's called For Hire and Removal by Ika Mouse. And that just thrilled me. And that's a pretty old school dancehall track. It's from 1982. So to hear it and so I grew up, and you grew up listening because of our families and our friends. We grew up listening to a lot of reggae, dancehall, ska, blue beat, whatever. This just made me smile right away. Just like what you were saying, it got my attention immediately. I mean, basically the genre is really interesting to me because I was so involved in rave culture and going to raves and listening to rave music for so long, be it house, jungle, drum and bass, whatever. I really loved this collaborative effort they've made to mash that sound of Glasgow rave culture with Jamaican music styles. I love it. I love it. I like what their sound system champions is what one article I was reading said.
To be really honest with you, man, like whenever I need to whenever I have the mood for this type of music, I always end up messaging you and Aisha and being like, yo, I need to know an artist, I need to know a playlist, I need to know something, I need to hear this right now. Because I almost have trouble finding music like this for some reason.
So basically the song lyrics are just fun. They're like, yo, smoke some guns, jump up quickly. Yo, you're talking shit, doesn't matter, put that aside, jump up quickly. You're sitting down, get on the dance floor, yeah, jump up quickly. I like how the one, they just kind of mention in an offhand way, Ika Mouse. It says here, fleeing the bee attack, killers and I lose, the words that I don't know where to look, see a mouse to a foot. Meaning we'll squat. They're mentioning Ika Mouse, but they're also like, who the fuck are you? We'll squish you like a mouse with our foot. Jump up quickly. So lyrically, not much to say lyrically. It's a fun track. It's more about the rhythms and the sound system kind of thing. And I'm glad I didn't know this affected you right away. So again, I'm really happy and glad that you enjoyed this so much and that it's one of those songs that does get you going because that's what it's for. In the name, in the beat, in the rhythms, in their name, so on and so forth. And that's what I had to say about this song. So thank you, Arm, out there for getting this track, and it's been on repeat since I first heard it. You know, Arm kind of actually opened the doorway for me again between him and DJ K out of England, who's a drum and bass jungle DJ. You know, both of them between the two have done this resurgence of whether it be new or old school jungle and drum and bass. More jungle. I don't like pots and pans. Is how I like putting it. But yeah, I really love this track, and this band has been, not only this song, but this band has been on repeat for me now. So I've been kind of going through their catalog and checking out different things. I suggest you all out there do it as well. Who do you got for us for your next track, Mischief?
So for our last track for On Repeat is someone we've talked about before. I'm bringing him back, Mr. Anderson .Paak. The song is Lockdown, and Lockdown was released in June 2020. Crucial time for all of us. Brandon and Paak Anderson, American rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, and multi-instrumentalist. We've talked about him before. Also on this track is American rapper and songwriter J-Rock, who's also featured. Someone we've also brought up in a previous episode. Now, Lockdown, June 2020. This is an explicitly political song set against a really easy rolling funk groove,
which is typically Paak.
Which I was just about to say is very Anderson .Paak. This song, in my opinion, musically, the song reminded me of like almost kind of like a 90s New Jack Swing kind of deal. In my opinion, very similar to like, and this is just the beat, right? The bass with the beat and just musically what was created. Kind of like Lucy Pearl's Dance Tonight, almost. It had or even Ice Cube's like Put Your Back Into It, like just that kind of like club kind of beat, easygoing club kind of groove. But the song is, like I said, very political. So the song Lockdown by Anderson .Paak is about Paak attending the protests and voicing his beliefs on that subject and his motivations behind them. So the video actually features a devastatingly long list of black people who have been killed, including George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Michael Brown, and Trayvon Martin. And late May, early June, amidst all the nationwide protests against police brutality and racial equality, this funk-inflected song reflects the current moment, with lyrics touching on systemic racism and the current pandemic that we're all dealing with right now. And I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to bring this, aside from the fact that the song has become on repeat for me, and it's something that we can all very much relate to, because we all saw exactly, the whole world globally watched exactly what this song is about. Yeah, the entirety of this track is his point of view from beginning to end, as a story. And now, just gonna touch on a couple of the lyrics. It was really hard for me to pick which lyrics to talk about. I can literally, word for word, just say the entire song, and it would just speak volumes just on its own. Some of the lyrics go. So starting off actually with the chorus. You should have been downtown. The people are rising. We thought it was a lockdown. They opened the fire. Then bullets was flying. Who said it was a lockdown? It's a goddamn lie. Pretty much like we're supposed to be in lockdown. Yes, we're protesting. It's supposed to be a silent, a peaceful protest. But now it's like, what is going on? Just gonna continue with the lyrics here. We was trying to protest, then the fires broke out. Look out for the secret agents, they are planted in the crowd. Referring to the individuals who were pretty much just destroying things for no reason. And then blaming Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Matter protests on what these random people were just doing with regards to the rioting and the looting that was happening and the violence. When it first started, it was just like, look what Black Lives Matter is doing. It's like, no, it's like these random fucking people that were doing it.
Actually, not even random people. You know, they were planted. Just like the song was saying, right? Like,
and yep, continuing with the lyrics again. Staying quiet when they're killing N-words, but you speak loud when we riot. Got opinions coming from a place of privilege, sicker than the COVID. how they did him on the ground. Speaking of the COVID, is it still going around? Like, this is all happening. Again, lockdown is a goddamn lie. Like, is the pandemic still a thing right now? Like, is anyone actually still worried about that? And then, oh, why don't you tell me about the looting? What's that really all about? Like, why is this even happening? Because even local black businesses were just like, I don't understand why this is happening at all. Again, continuing on with the lyrics, because they throw away black lives like paper towels. Plus, unemployment rate is what, 40 million now? Killed a man in broad day, might never see a trial. We just want to break chains like slaves in the South. Started in the North End, but we ended downtown. Riot cops tried to block, now we got a showdown.
And I mean, that's what we were seeing.
Yeah, right? Literally, it's almost like a play-by-play of literally what was happening from every aspect.
On every channel.
For me, this is actually the second COVID-related... It's not even a COVID-related song. This is the first song about the lockdown and the protests that I got to... that I fell in love with. There's a whole nother song that that came out about COVID that I ended up falling in love with by Hobson called COVID Mansion. I'm going to bring it up on an episode for sure at some point. But yeah, man, this song hit me in two different ways, right? Like lyrically, I'm hearing this stuff and I'm just like damn, like this is what was going on. Like this is a very real song. And then at the same time with the beat, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, you kind of have no choice with Paak with a lot of his stuff. That's what it makes you do, right?
Yeah.
That neck snapping, head bopping.
Also in the video, it's noted that Paak had actually made donations to a couple help organizations, such as Action Bail Fund, LA, Atlanta Solidarity Fund, and Albany Safety Fund for Black Lives. Also, the entire cast and crew for the video donated their salaries that they made for the video for lockdown to Dream Defenders, which is an organization for young revolutionaries. There wasn't a profitable thing for him for this. It was like, I'm writing a song for what I went through, and I'm gonna put all the proceeds towards that and what's going on with Black Lives in America.
I think pretty self-explanatory that, as you know, that time period for me was a tough one. Continues to be a tough one, and so there was a seriousness for me listening to that song just because I knew when it came out, I mean, the world kind of exploded right then and there. So it's always going to remind me, aside from my own personal stuff that was going on, that's a selfish thought, but a thought nonetheless. Worldwide, I think it really hit on not only in the States, but what was happening worldwide, like I've been saying. And so you got to appreciate stuff like that, man. And you have to uphold the artists that aren't afraid to come out and say what they feel and think about it. And you have to like, hey, soul claps, you know?
Yeah, so that's the end of that. Anderson .Paak, Lockdown. Check it out, because it's dope for so many different reasons. So what's your last pick?
My last pick, I'm ending off this. I think these three selections were a bit easier for me. That's kind of been an easy breezy feeling right now, and that's portrayed in what I've picked of late. I'm going to talk about a song by the Likwit crew called the Likwit Crew Connection. Now, you may have heard of some of these people. The origin of these peeps is from LA in the United States. The genre is hip hop. You know, there's a couple of associated acts. This guy named Dr. Dre, this other guy named Snoop Dogg. And the members, King T, The Alcoholics, Exhibit, Dafari, Loot Pack, which is DJ Rome's, Madlib, and Wild Child, Stylistic Jones, Phil de Agony, Declaim, and Jay Wells, to name all and a few in one breath. I just want to do a side note before I get into this that I don't think King T is given enough credit. He was the first gangster rap guy that I listened to. Then I found out about Ice-T. And the rest of the gang all came out, right? But King T was gangster. And, you know, he helped organize this crew in the beginning. He's like one of the founding godfather, grandfather members of this crew. It says it right here. Roger McBride doesn't get enough credit. The name is probably unfamiliar to you, and it's hardly the most memorable. Some know him better by King T. And he had one of the fucking best bad man them DJs out there at the time, DJ Aladdin. And I loved the album. I loved the album of his, or sorry, the cover of his album. My go-to song by King T back then was "Act a Fool," and he was like, basically, you fuck around and I'm gonna act a fool. It's like Yelawolf, don't make me pop the trunk, kind of thing. You're fucking with the wrong cat, you know. So of course I'm a testosterone-filled, fueled teenager at that point. So of course it hit me well and powerfully. And again, I don't think he's revered as he should be. He's an originator of West Coast gangster rap. King T, that is. I like how this is put. His name is often, sadly, a mere footnote in discussions about the foundation of hip-hop's most commercially successful subgenre. And I agree wholeheartedly. He helped kickstart the gangster rap contribution to hip-hop. So they're a hip-hop collective, West Coast hip-hop collective. Again, founded by King T, who, it says here, recruited the Alcoholics as his first acts, and are the artists such as Exhibit, Phil the Agony, Loot Paak, Defari, Stylistic Jones, Declaimed J. Wells, and the Barbershop MCs joined as well. Some of the extended members include Dilated Peoples, Strong Arm Steady, and a spin-off group called Liquid Junkies. Has been formed by DJ Babu and Defari. And the reason I'm mentioning that is if you look up this song, sometimes it'll come up as by Defari, and other times it'll come up as by Phil the Agony. So I just found that interesting and weird. So I kind of decided to talk about all of them. This song's a fucking party song. It's one of these. It's just one of those party tracks. It'll make you jump up on the dance floor back to that. So then, you know, the Alcoholics come around in the mid-90s, and I love their stuff. It's the Alcoholics. They rap a lot about drinking and partying. And that's what I was doing. Aside from raising my little one or whatever before that. So this song, sorry, I'll add to that. You know, that led to coming out of that era of gangster rap into this other era and subgenre of underground West Coast hip hop. Some of them from that area being the Freestyle Fellowship, love, 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 the Hieroglyphics, and the Far Side. So they all kind of came out of that, and it was a thing called the Good Time Factor. That's what the raps are about. So this song, all it is a braggadocious ass motherfucking song. They're the Likwit crew, and this is their fucking connection. This is how we're gonna connect to you. So they're just bragging. I'll get your ass on the dance floor because I got the fucking hypest lyrics. My DJ's got the hypest beats. Our producer's the hypest. Whatever. Have a drink. Shake your ass on the dance floor. Puff a joint. Get that girl over there up in here too. You want to come and test me, you MCs? Come and test me. I'll fucking take y'all out too. It's that kind of a braggadocious song. And that makes me happy. Every so often you need to have a little braggadocious in your ass. So that is what this song's about, man. I'll also add, and I've read and I agree with this, the Alcoholics were that bridge between gangster and party rap. Because they're kind of gangster. They don't fuck with them. They'll fuck you up. But they're talking about, well, the Alcoholics. It just says it in the name. Talking about pimping and drinking and fucking burning and just having a good time. And after the year that we've been through, after the 2 years that I've been through with the losses and whatever, you need stuff like this. You need stuff to be able to just ease a little bit. And I think that's where a lot of these songs, whether they be older, newer, old sounding, whatever the case is, I've needed that. And I think a lot of people out there have needed it for just mental ease.
When was it released?
Sorry, it was released, I want to say in 2018. There wasn't much, information about this. Sorry, I finally found it. I don't know why I didn't notice this before. It was re-released a couple of years ago, but originally it's from 99.
That would also kind of explain why there were so many different people that, as you were saying, that were essentially taking claim as the leading group, right? It wasn't just the Likwit crew. This is their song. It was whoever, I can't remember who.
Right. Failed to Agony, yeah, and the Alcoholics, yeah, and Defari.
I get honestly at this point it kind of makes more sense now, knowing that it actually is a 20-year-old song.
Look at that, we're discovering stuff with y'all out there.
We're doing our research on the spot.
Well, with that one, again, it was really hard to find any information about it. You know what it feels like? The song feels like what you've been doing lately. On side note, Mischief has been making some fucking wicked. I'm glad music is coming out of this man's mind and through his fingers again. He's back to making music, y'all, and that makes me so happy. Why I mentioned that, Mischief, is this song has that feeling of, yo, I got this beat, let's get together, let's do this. It's not overly produced. It feels like if it was a rock band, it's off the floor.
That's pretty much exactly why I started, again, doing music, because I kind of fell out of it because I just got bored of doing it on my own. I get ideas for song lyrics or little melodies or something like that over the last few years, but nothing motivated or inspired me enough to actually do it, which is a regular thing for anyone who has any kind of hobby or loves to do any kind of art. You eventually get as a way of putting it, like writer's block, or you just don't feel motivated or inspired enough to do anything, which is pretty much exactly what happened.
It's been a tough year. It could have gone either way. So I'm glad you're making music again, Mischief. It makes me so happy. I see how much joy it brings you. And fuck, it brings me joy. As you know, again, a side note, Mischief had posted something and I was like, yo, this needs to be fucking slowed down to 127 BPM. I want a 303 and an 808 in there. And he was like, that sounds horrible. And this is what I love about music. We figured out, I don't know why I have to yell them. I'm pretty excited about this, apparently. We figured out, the BPMs were up on the screen that Mischief had posted, but I was hearing something else than what Mischief was posting. I was just paying attention to something else within the song, and it was hitting me off, and it took me places. And that's a beautiful thing. You're taking people places with what you're posting, Mischief. Hats off, man.
But this is, thank you, for one.
Cheers to you, homie.
But this is literally, that's actually a really good, I'm really happy that you said all that, because that's, again, why I actually started doing music again, because of the fact that I started reaching out to a couple other people that I know, and I was just like, hey, do you want to do a song together? Do you want, like, we can do something and send it to you, you add something, send it back, we'll figure something out. So for you in that moment to be like, I'm hearing this, try this, I was just like, okay. And then that's when I was just like, no, but like, that's what it is, right? Like,
but then we got it figured out that I was hearing, or I was paying attention to a different BPM pattern of a sound than what you were actually putting out.
Yeah, but even then, right? Like when you're working with other artists, or even when the Likwit crew were working together, or any multi-instrumentalists and stuff like that, when you're creating a piece of music, you're gonna have those moments, right? And I was actually having this conversation with a couple people over the last couple weeks. I'm sure I've mentioned this in the previous episode. There's no rules to making music. There's guidelines. There's, musical theory and other things that you should probably keep in mind when making music, but there's no rules. 12
notes, people. Have at it.
Exactly, right? Which is basically what it is, because it'll be like, I have an idea for a song. Here's a beat with like a bass. I'll send it to Murky. right? A friend, a buddy we've had on our previous episode. I'll send it to him and be like, add anything you want to it. I do not care. Just listen to it, hear what you hear, and add something to it, and just send it back. And I'll listen to it, and if I like it, I'll keep it. If I feel like changing it up, I'll change it up. It's my song, not his. So I'll change it up. I might even use his idea. in a different way, right? And then I'll send it back to him, be like, this is what I did. Add something else to it now, right? Or this is what I added to it. I kept what you added. I added my own thing. Send it back. What do you got, right? Like it's a totally different feel for me. And again, this is why I've jumped back into music, because it's working with someone else. Just adds this different. It's fun. It's a bonus. It's a different level of fun. It's just, I like working with other people, different artists, which is why I got into engineering to begin with, because I liked helping other artists create their music. So if I could just work with other people, I was happy. Anyway, that's why I started making music again.
And that was my third pick, man, which is the Liquid Crew Connection by the Liquid Crew.
And that's it for our On Repeats. So what was our songs? Sorry, I started off with WurlD's Ghost Town.
I started off with Tom Misch, or Misch, Lost in Paris.
And then I went to Yelawolf's Till It's Gone.
And then I went to Mungo's Hi-Fi Madness. Mungo's Hi-Fi, Jump Up Quickly.
Then I went to a very current, everyone can relate to in our current situation and globally with Anderson .Paak's Lockdown. And
then I ended with currently re-released music from 1999. The Liquid Crew, a song called Liquid Crew Connection. To repeat, that is it for our On Repeat. So thank you for joining us on our third installment of On Repeat, Volume 3. And I'm the Brown Bandit, better known as the Bandit.
I'm the mischievous one, better known as Mischief. Thank you guys for watching our show.
Yes. Enjoy. Much love, guys.
Take care. Bye.